First of all, I just wanted to let you know that Chris Hazeltine helped prepare the agenda report, and I think he did a great job, and I really appreciate his help with that. First of all, from a planning standpoint, ERGA has essentially right now two funds which we use for the maintenance of the golf course. The first one is a 3% capital reserve. These funds are used to essentially replenish the traps at the course. We also use them for the greens after Jim Bond comes out and plays golf, and there are all these divots in the greens from his great shots onto the, we have to spend money to go in and repair those. We also have then a fund for a 1% long-term capital reserve, and these are for projects, major renovation of the irrigation system, long-term projects that we don't have a particular plan for at this particular time, but which we need to be prepared for. By the end of the current fiscal year, this long-term fund will be $132,570. From a planning standpoint also, we adopt an annual operating budget. And recently the board enhanced our long-term planning by establishing a 6-year financial plan. And this, of course, is consistent with your city practice. The plan identifies placeholders for multiple contingency accounts.
Just so everybody here knows, can you just describe the membership of the board? Because I was out of the room for a second, but just to let everybody know who sits on our ERGA board.
Sure. There is myself, Bill Dean, Cindy Jacobson, the city manager, Phil Cotton, Chris Hazeltine, and then our city engineer, Pete.
And then the three non-city, and just tell the three non-city people how they play into it. I just want everybody to understand.
The three non-city people, Joan Woods, who is essentially the secretary, Jay Lembach, which is our financial guru, and then Cindy, who also manages our finances.
Nancy,
I'm sorry. I apologize, Nancy.
But then the three people, yourself and the two other folks, and you are on this board by virtue of, I just want folks to,
sure.
Yeah.
I am on this as a citizen of the city of Encinitas, and I am appointed by the city manager. And Cindy Jacobs is on it, and she is a representative of Carltris. Sure. Any other clarifications at this point? Okay. So, as I was mentioning, we have these multiple contingency reserve accounts, and can you imagine the shock and horror that Jay had when he realized that we did not have a long-term contingency reserve to ensure that the ERGA continues its history of financial self-sufficiency. So we put together this pie chart in honor of the Del Mar Fair, and this is our ERGA proposed 2010 budget. And I just wanted to give you a visual presentation of what percentage our long-term reserve is. It is the $44,419, which is about 1% of our annual expenditures each year. The original development agreement did not identify the need to establish and maintain contingency reserve accounts. I think they were too busy trying to figure out how to actually build the golf course. So going forward, in the long-term interest of the course, ERGA would like to create this contingency reserve. These funds would be used in case of a catastrophic event, for example, major damage to our bridge or an earthquake damage to our water delivery system. I can't project what the use would be, but obviously there are many potential problems that could occur. The golf course revenues are used to pay operating and capital expenses and required debt service and bonds. The surplus net revenue is applied in the following order. For the first 10 years, surpluses reduced the developer's obligation to repay sales tax previously advanced to the city. During the next 6 years, surplus was shared equally between city and developer, with the developer's share being credited against sales tax advance. After sales tax repayment has been made, no further payment to developer until all the debts are retired, and then the city receives all surplus revenue. For 25 years after all debt is retired, the city and developer share surpluses equally. And then finally, after that particular time, the golf course becomes a cash cow and the city receives all surplus revenue.
Can I ask a question now? Bill, looking at that, the 10 years, 6 years, 25 years, et cetera, where are we now in that process because I know we had surpluses in the first
Yes.
10 years. First time we put anything on the ground that made money.
Yes. We are in the next 6 years. So we're in the part of the contract which requires us to share equally the repayment of the sales tax advance. And that, I think, goes through for another